Hello friends, it's a great day for Hardcore Minecraft. In this episode we have a big project to do because last episode I mentioned that I wanted to add candles to my amethyst library, and in order to do that we need honeycomb. We also need honeycomb for copper blocks, and then we need honey blocks for various redstone things in the future. But there's an upcoming update of Reasonable Progression that involves cooking, and we're going to need honey for that as well. So we have plenty of reasons that we want honey in this world, and we're going to start farming it right now. If you guys have seen the thumbnail, you kinda know what we're going to be building, but I'm gonna keep it a secret for the rest of you. And if we go into here, we can see every material we are going to need for this build. The hardest part is that we need honey blocks, honeycomb, and beehives, which all require me to already have a bee farm to make. But these are the ingredients to build this honey farm, which means it's going to be a little bit difficult. We're going to have to build a pre-bee farm to then farm honey for our main bee farm. So, step number one, we're going to go on a little adventure to find as many beehives as we can, and then we'll start clearing out an area to build it. Okay, this almost broken diamond pickaxe has enough durability we need to harvest all of the beehives, so we're going to do that now. There's a oak forest somewhere over here that we're going to use for this. It's welcome to the stream. Oh my gosh! A creeper just skybombed me. I almost just died. Oh my gosh! This is why I can't read chat while I'm running. Oh my gosh! This is why I'm the best Minecrafter of all time. Oh my gosh, my world almost just ended. My world almost just ended twice in one stream. There we go. This is our starter bee farm. It is incredibly ugly. Let's add some cherry blossom around just to liven it up a little bit. But here we go. Here's our initial bee farm, where we're going to try to farm the blocks for the bee build. But we're also going to breed them here. Oh, I just realized this needs campfires under it if I'm going to be harvesting. Let's get the charcoal for the campfires. Can you see my crown? It's crown number 1. It shows up on like every other message for some reason. Oh my gosh, what? Calm down, Fiery Zane! Calm down! I think this is gonna end up in the video. Alright, so we have our starter bee farm set up, and we are starting with collecting our bee-related blocks for the honey farm that we are going to be building, the bigger one that's going to have much more space, much more bees. I think I'm going to go back to the storage and create a chest over there, specifically for storing all of our honeycomb, and then after we've collected all the honeycomb blocks, we'll start working on the honey blocks. And this is going to take a lot of AFKing probably, which I can do off stream later. But until then, we're going to see how much I can actually harvest. I'm probably even going to need more shears than that. But the actual honey farm is going to go over here somewhere, which means we need to start cutting down trees. I think it's going to go like right here, literally. So let's get to work. Okay, it took a lot of work, but you guys saw from the time-lapse, I got every honey-related thing we needed for the farm right here. We need more beehives than that, but we're going to reuse the ones we have here. And now all I have to do is collect all the non-honey and wood blocks that go into this bee farm. But right now, all the bees are sleeping in their hives, which means it's the perfect time to use this diamond pickaxe with Silk Touch to recollect all of these hives right here. We had a lot of issues while I was bee farming. The baby bees were dying like a majority of the time for a while. So I spent a lot of extra days just trying to breed bees, not realizing that they were killing themselves on the campfires. So that's why I added the bark over it. And I got rid of the original design that we had simply because it wasn't optimal. The bees were having a hard time pathfinding into the beehive, which I think is a universal issue because I noticed that still happened even when I fixed it. It happened less, but it still happened a little bit where they just freeze in front of the hive. But that being said, we're going to collect all of these beehives that we made and clean up this area because it's ugly. But we're going to continue to use this spot right here to collect our items until we can eventually build our bee farm right over there. So last bit we gotta do, mine these campfires and then harvest all of these. But overall, this build is going a lot better than I thought it would. It's just, I don't like this episode taking so many days of AFKing and farming because I plan on making a 1000 days video eventually. And if a large portion of that 1000 days video is just bee farming, it's that's so much time that I could be doing anything else that makes that video more entertaining. But whatever. Here is everything we have for this build so far. We're not actually using the nests, so we can put that in there. Let's take a look at the next components we need. We need glass, we have the trapdoors. Campfires should be pretty easy because we just got a stack and 14 charcoal by breaking all those campfires. Then hay bales will be easy because we have a wheat farm. So the rest of these are all really easy. So it looks like I'm going to go live, collect the rest of this, and probably build the honey farm. Okay, so I have acquired everything I need for this new build. The block set looks a lot simpler than I thought it was. But yeah, we're just gonna get to building. Alright, that is my bee farm complete with our custom silk trees that match with the vibe of the honey. Then we got another sunflower field like we have over there with our silk. We have some saplings. And this is my viewer garden. These are a bunch of people that were on my live stream when I hit 300 subscribers. The next time I build a viewer garden will be 500. So make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can be notified when I live stream and build the next garden. Now that we have finished that bee farm, we can finally move on to decorating my cave system with candles. But here's our first look at the inside of the honeycomb farm, heading up in here. I'm not sure this is the most optimal interior for a honeycomb farm. And I've noticed something. There's a bug where the honeycomb actually spawns inside the block. When usually with blocks like this, it spawns on the outside, on the face that you clicked on. So normally it should spawn right here when it pops out of the hive. But that means that half of the time when I harvest honeycomb in here, it's so tight-knit that when the honeycomb spawns the item, it just immediately gets pushed out of the hive. Look, a bunch of them spawned all the way over here. So this is just not optimal. But, whatever, what am I gonna do? But also, it's just so crowded in there with how many bees, so they have a hard time getting outside to even pollinate. So, I've been letting this sit for a while, and it only gave us 42 honeycomb. Like, we should have much more than that at this point. Now we have 23 purple candles and 19 normal candles, simply because I can't afford the dye to make more. But I think these will fit with the vibe of the silk field right here. And one of the biggest problems with my base in this world right now is the fact that it's not spawn-proofed. So over time we're going to be coming up with more and more ways to spawn-proof this place. Now let's make our way down into the cave. I think the normal candles might also look nice in the regular parts of the cave that aren't amethyst, if we can just find good places to put them. Alright, and we make our way to the amethyst section. I'm going to save the candles for inside the library, and you can see I already tried some, but the main goal is that I don't want to have torches in here. But I guess that's it. Thank you guys for watching this episode. I had a little bit more plans, but this was filmed around the 4th of July, and I had a lot of things to do this week. So I just wanted to hop in here and get this episode done, because after taking a 3-day break, the motivation to continue on the same projects is gone. But that's okay, because the project was pretty much done to begin with. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and if you want to suggest future updates to Reasonable Progression, be sure to comment them down below. Also, let me know what you think of this new build, because low-key, I think it's so much better than the rest of the builds in this world that I might have to upgrade everything else. This outro is getting exceedingly long, so thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace!